It is a bright and sunshiny fall day here on the farm, as you can see from the light pouring in our back window here. It is time to get on my apron and gear up for a day of deep cleaning, bread baking, and snuggling these babies. Besides the kitchen, this living room is the room that gets destroyed the fastest. It definitely takes the biggest hit. There are usually blankets everywhere, shoes, laundry, toys, craft supplies, all of it. A lot of our craft supplies are here in this dresser under our TV. There are books all over the living room, and then today in particular, I am spending the day doing a bunch of laundry, so I have piled it in chairs and I am needing to get that taken care of. You have socks on, you're sliding around. You get your shoes. I picked up this little paper white kit from our local Tractor Supply, and I decided not to use the little plastic container that it came with and just use one of my big bowls. Now I do wish that I had more bulbs to fit in here and kind of spread out and fill this entire bowl, but I don't, and I probably will not buy any more because I don't even know how these will do. I did have paper whites last year, but they came way after Christmas, and so I don't know that these will be quite in time. I think I might be a little bit late planning these, so we're going to stick with the one this year, no matter how lonely it looks, and we will see again next year if this is something that I want to do again. Now, y'all know me. You know that I am constantly moving my furniture around here. I come by it honestly. My mom does it. You will walk in her house one day and it will just be completely different than the evening before when you left. And so apparently that is something that I like to do too. Having all of my sewing stuff in our bedroom just was no longer working. So I kind of moved some stuff around a couple of weeks ago and I'm getting everything back in place now. I decided to put this little antique dresser here in my dining room, and I'm gonna reorganize those drawers, but for now I can stand here and sew and have all of my tools right there. It's out of reach of children, and then I can turn to the table right beside it to cut fabric, measure, pin, whatever it is that I need to do, and hopefully this will be a better place for sewing aprons, dresses, pillows, curtains, whatever it is I decide to do next. Jack. Hey. I think almost every video I bake bread, and in this video that is the only thing that I'm cooking for y'all today. I am making lots and lots of bread. I think I doubled my recipes, so that is the equivalent of, I think, 4 loaves. I am getting started on baking for our holiday market. We have a church event for our women's group that we call the holiday market. We have a lot of vendors that come and set up and sell goods. We serve breakfast and lunch. We have a bake sale, and it raises money for missions that are really important to our women's group and our church. And so it is one of our bigger events as far as our women's group goes in the church that we have each year. For it, I usually bake several loaves of bread. I usually do a cranberry pumpkin bread and, of course, regular yeast bread and rolls. Sometimes I do sourdough. Not this year, but sometimes I do sourdough, and I bake pies for this. So I'm getting started on bread, and I am baking up a round, crustier loaf, a sandwich bread, and I actually had one sandwich bread that didn't turn out too pretty, and it didn't make it any less delicious, I'll tell you that, but we kept that for ourselves, and in one day it was gone. And then for supper, I am making up some yeast rolls out of one of the loaves, but I saw on Instagram someone take their rolls, and instead of just shaping them into little like buns, they rolled it out like cinnamon rolls, filled it with butter on the inside, and then rolled it up and baked it just like a cinnamon roll. So we are going to try that tonight. Now keep in mind, this is all one recipe that I'm just splitting up in multiple ways, and I find that this specific bread recipe does really well doing that, and I can make almost anything out of this recipe. Now, of course, if I'm baking bread, so is Aladon. So usually on bread baking days, she gets a little bowl of flour and water dough that she gets to play with. So I have her set up here on the dining table so she can make as big of a mess as she wants, and it's not too hard to clean up. I've given her my baking mat and some tools, and I'm telling you, this will keep a kid occupied for at least an hour. And she played with it on and off. I bet that today this kept her occupied for 2 to 3 hours. That is a great toy for no more than this cost of a little flour, a little water, and a little time cleaning up.
My hands are kind of messy.
dough down for a second.
Can you to what hand?
Yeah.
Then can you wash it?
Yeah.
Guess what? Someone posted a video of a dog playing with dough.
Did he? Something that is really important in a small and country kitchen is versatility of your spaces and of your recipes. So I said earlier that this recipe can be used for almost anything that is yeast based. Pizza crust, fried donuts, bread, hamburger buns, hot dog buns, rolls, anything. I've made croissants out of this dough. I've made crescent rolls. So many things. That is so important because I don't have a lot of time with 2 little ones running around to constantly be learning new recipes, and when I find a good one I just want to stick with it. But along with that, this recipe is versatile in other ways, and that is with the preparation. So for this, you can mix everything up, let it rise at room temperature, or you can let it rise in the fridge for a lot longer. Now, a good reason would be if you want to prep this dough the night before, you can pop it in the fridge, and then when you get up in the morning, you can pull it out, punch it down, shape it, and then it is going to need a longer second rise time because it's coming from very cold temperatures. And so once you shape it, you let it rise at room temperature, or for a slow rise, you also can shape it, put it back in the fridge, let it rise some more. But when you are ready to bake that, you are going to have to pull that out and let it warm up a bit and rise just a little bit at room temperature so it's not too dense. But you can buy time by sticking this in the refrigerator. Now, I hear this about sourdough all the time. I do this with sourdough when I make it, but I am kind of out of my sourdough phase right now and solely relying on this basic yeast bread. And so I love that I can kind of treat it in the same way. Now, you also can scale the recipe a bit with your level of yeast to slow that down or speed that up. You don't want to take out too much or add too much extra to adjust this because it will start to affect the flavor, but you can a little bit to get away with working with your timing. But the fridge is your friend, and you can pop it into the fridge to have slower rise time and then work that around your schedule. So today I am doing it all at room temperature, and it takes maybe 6 hours total. But some nights I will prep the dough, get it into the refrigerator for the first proof, and then get it out the next morning, punch it down, shape it, and let it rise at room temperature until it's ready to bake, and it'll double up in size. Now, it takes a little bit longer, but you can do it, and that makes it where you're not doing this all day. However, I do like that I can start this bread at lunch and have some form of bread or rolls or whatever it is by supper. So here, I am showing you the versatility of this recipe, kind of on accident because this is just what I was making that day, but this is just the versatility of this recipe. This is a round, what I call a round, but I think it's called a bowl, and my buttered rolls there in the background, and then you can see even further in the background there is my 2 sandwich loaves. So there's 3 different ways of how to use this recipe right there. shoe time. Go over my You trying to fight your mom?
Yeah.
Shoe one. There. You want to sit up? Put your other one on. Here. Great sneakers. Let's get your outfit all spiffied up. Here, come here. Chop chop.